对不起，这次让大家失望了。已经建设了7年的雄安新区，它既没有开始履行刚开始建设的承诺，计划投资30万亿的新区呢，到现在仅只投资了8097亿。本身的话10年建成的一座城市，到如今才迁了8家央企总部，计划40多所3甲医院，目前来了7家而已。计划17所大学的雄安，现在仅搬迁来了9所大学。就连原来说的这些房子不可以买卖，现在我们也是放开了政策，我们普通的老百姓也可以来雄安新区买房子了。
This is the third time I have filmed Xiong'an. It's not that I care about this city, but Xiong'an is the starting point of my channel. First of all, this city was not built for us.And most of us don't deserve to have anything to do with this city. In the meantime, many bloggers have come here and posted their own videos. To be honest, most of them are just talking about the current situation here. Some bloggers have completely ignored the facts when posting videos, reaching the level of bragging without thinking. It seems that sufficient capital injection can not only build a city quickly, but also make a person full of lies.Of course, Xiong'an is also a part of my key observation. I happened to pass by this time, and by the way, I took a look at the changes in Xiong'an over the past year, and my own feelings. The biggest difference between this time and the previous times is that when I came here before, there were still construction sites and workers everywhere. But now Rongdong and Rongxi are basically completed. Compared with Xiong'an, which is full of construction sites and workers, it is now more like an empty city. Whether it is a community with relocated residents, or a new property that has not yet been opened for occupancy, the high-end configuration here is in sharp contrast with the empty roads.On the road, you can see the highest configuration of community construction, perfect greening and pedestrian walkways. From an aesthetic point of view, there is indeed a sense of luxury everywhere here. But you asked me if I want to live in such a place. From this perspective, my opinion has indeed changed. Xiong'an is still quite suitable for living. The school also looks very complete, but I remembered the school we went to when we were young, the shabby but free feeling.I am actually a little unsure whether it is our childhood or the children nowadays who are happier. There are free community parks and courts everywhere. Seeing such high-end venues being idle, I have the desire to move here.In a community in Rongxi, I saw a very beautiful riverside park.
哎呀，这个地方简直了，是吧？你看，还有人打扫这个一直有人打扫啊，这没有人嘛，没有人，他还一直维护着，就是花钱持有了这么好的地方，你要是不用呢，确实有点浪费了。与其都挤在北京，确实该来雄安啊。但是，你又不是所有的有资格的人能来，对吧？盖了这么多房子，那你要是都放开资格，我想北京可能马上就空了。这个很难想象这个事情。是吧？周末你不说来这住吧，你就是开个车来这露个营，它也比那个在温榆河呀，在什么玉渊潭公园堵车好吧？这花了钱你不用了，太浪费了。
I think there are few communities in the north with such construction specifications. Even in the wealthy areas of Beijing, it is impossible to have such a living environment. If a normal person living in Beijing sees such a beautiful community construction, wouldn't he feel moved? In the largest supermarket outlet in Xiong'an, if it were in the past, I would think that such a mall was too empty. But in fact, malls in various parts of the country are like this during the day, so the flow of people in Xiong'an is not surprising. It is also a place for dining, which makes you feel that this place is still popular. There are still a lot of vacant office buildings here. Look at the imposing gates. It is obvious that they are prepared for central enterprises. I wonder which private enterprise can afford such a building now. Of course, central enterprises are unwilling to move here now. Who will really move into this building in the future is really an interesting topic.
这又是一个公园啊！哎呀，这雄安现在就变成了全是公园的一个地方。
What shocked me the most was the Jinhu Park in front of the building. This park is not big, with an area of 870,000 square meters, which is less than 1/10 of the Olympic Forest Park. It has pavilions, towers, mountains, and water scenery. This park has everything, and it is free. I chatted with the security guard here for a while. The maintenance of such a park provides employment for 100 people. I don't know their exact salary, but it is at least 2,000 to 3,000 renminbi. Therefore, the annual maintenance cost is at least several million yuan. Such a place may only occupy less than 1,000th of the area of Xiong'an. You can fully imagine how much maintenance costs are now to make the empty city of Xiong'an run. When Xiong'an began construction 8 years ago, this was probably not a problem. This cost must be a headache. Of course, it doesn't mean that there is no one here, otherwise it would really be a ghost town. The iconic building of the Convention and Exhibition Center is still the place with the most people in the whole Xiong'an. There is already a shopping mall downstairs with very complete functions, including restaurants, bars, bookstores, activity centers, and exhibition centers, and it seems that many activities have been held here. It can be seen that this place hopes to gather popularity as soon as possible, and it very much hopes to gather the popularity of young people. People who watch my show may know my point of view more or less. What kind of place will be popular, and what do young people need? Of course it is open. Only by letting go can everyone have fun. So I think, having ideals is good, but having money alone may not necessarily attract popularity. This time I also visited a place called Future Park. There is a house in the middle that is said to be the residence of Xiong'an leaders, and there is a future stadium next to it.
这个区域是这边，反正刚刚问是领导住的地方，然后有个这边这个房子，应该是他说是，可能是这边的官员住的吧。哎呀，这个环境，您看看，反正这都开着的，应该是可以用的。说我要是个村民来这打个球，也没有人打球。网球场也开着的。完全没有人。 那在这儿躺平是吧？多好呀！那边还有很多这个运动设施，乒乓球桌、健身器材。哎呀，那边还有足球场，那不去看了。这边足球场都是开着的，没有人用。赶紧来躺平吧啊，各位！那有个车，有个摩托车也行啊。全免费啊。反正领导应该也没时间在这打球。这还种了一片林子，你看这跑道，哟，是吧？你搬到哪有这种设施？哪有没有？要不怎么我刚刚说呢？在这儿不好吗？躺平在雄安。
It is really unknown why this park is called Future Park, but the next day it happened to be foggy and it was late autumn, so I took a good look at this not-so-big park. This kind of scenery is really rare in the south. The colors of late autumn plus the fog interpret a kind of bleak beauty unique to northern parks. Although this park is not big, you can really feel how much thought has been put into it. This is the most entangled feeling in Xiong'an. It's like you ran to the center of the desert and dug a pond, and then it became an oasis. But no one came here. No matter how abundant the water and grass here are, no one knows or enjoys it. The reality here is like a mirage. You not only see it, but even touch it. But just like the scenery in front of you, for an individual, it's just like a dream. I am very sure that Xiong'an is completely different from what we envisioned 8 years ago. 8 years ago, we were at the top of the world, at least that's what many Chinese people thought. But now we have been in a downward cycle for at least 8 years, and we don't know where the bottom is, or when it will be. So, I don't know if the grand ambitions back then are still grand ambitions now. I just think that Xiong'an now, at least, looks pretty good. It's too good to be true, too out of touch, and too hard to look at. Finally, as to why few state-owned enterprises are willing to relocate now, I think you only need to know why state-owned enterprises are in Beijing instead of other places to understand. So I said above that even if this place is built into a paradise, they will not voluntarily move. You can see it now from the liberalization of real estate sales. The policy of that year has changed now. The policy 8 years ago must not have thought of the current real estate situation.
其实平南北通透的户型，咱们来看一下精装后的效果。这个户型就是一进门的左手边或者右手边都是厨房。这个厨房虽然小，但是五脏俱全，这还能放个小冰箱。橱柜是 U 型的，烟机灶具都给装好了，挺别致的。咱们出来看看这个客厅。这客厅这沙发背景啊，大概是差几公分，3米宽。你如果买沙发，可以参考这个尺寸。这边是阳台，我拍的是贤文东方最北边这栋楼，这个采光非常好，因为没有任何的遮挡。这是影视墙，稍微有点小。进来是主卧，这是下午不到4点的时候拍的，可以看一下这个光线。这边出来就是餐厅了。
The rent here is about 5K to 6K a year, and they are all fully decorated. Calculating the rental-to-sale ratio, the houses here must be difficult to sell now. Of course, the current situation of state-owned enterprises being forcibly relocated here may change a little. But I walked around here again, and my feeling is that if you are just looking for a place with few people and good environment, this is a very good choice, combined with the current low rent and the surrounding super supporting facilities. Note that the houses here are all well decorated, and there are cafes, supermarkets, restaurants, parks, and sports fields, each of which is top-notch. And it is also very close to Beijing. If you have a car, you can drive there in more than an hour, and the high-speed rail may be faster. From what I have seen now, Xiong'an may be more open in terms of policies in the future, organize more activities to attract young people, and use various policies to attract lightweight companies to move in here. Anyway, our policies are usually flexible and maneuverable. 5 years ago, it was still a house for living, not for speculation. What about now? Right. So don't worry about the future of Xiong'an, there will be people to worry about it in the future. In fact, Xiong'an is a good example of social development. It is a city built entirely by administrative means. As time goes by, its functions and tasks will change accordingly. Of course, from the perspective of ordinary people like me, such a sample is too expensive. China has a history of large-scale migration or construction in every dynasty, and we are still experiencing such history now, so it is also very valuable to record this interesting change.